Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Alwyn here. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. As always, a couple stimulus updates today, so let's get right into those. So, Donald Trump was acquitted yesterday night, which means that Congress can get to work on what they said that they would be doing on January 20th, or at least by January 20th, and that is passing the third stimulus package sometime, they at least said, in January or February. So today we're going to be talking about the timeline in terms of when Congress will most likely be passing the stimulus check and when the American people will actually have their $1,400 in their hands. Keep in mind, the third stimulus package will not only provide stimulus checks, but it will also extend unemployment aid, which is expected as of now to end by March 15th. And it will also provide funding for more housing, rental assistance for schools, for, PPP, for EIDL, for FAA, ton of different plans that exist. So it's super important, $1.9 trillion in terms of relief. Now, Congress has said nothing else. Now that Congress has essentially nothing else to focus on, its only focus is passing the stimulus bill. So we'll have to see how long that will take in terms of a timeline, looking at their calendar. The House of Representatives and the Senate are off for most of President's Day week. However, so the stock market is off tomorrow, which is Monday. However, Congress is going to be off the entire week for the most part. So essentially the 15th through the 19th of February, this month or this week coming up, there won't be much as the entire Congress is pretty much not in session. The House of Representatives plan to hold a vote as early as the 23rd of February, according to Steny Hoyer's, the majority House leader, his calendar that he has in place. Now, this vote could happen even as, late as February 26th. So anywhere between February 23rd to February 26th. So that's the last week, essentially, of February, which will be dedicated, essentially, just to getting votes done in the House of Representatives. Then we will need to see what happens in the Senate in terms of scheduling. The House of Representatives will be doing committee work in the first 2 weeks of March. These 2 weeks will be critical for the Senate, who will be in session during the first 2 weeks of March. The Senate now has kind of two choices. Right, the first choice is within the first 2 weeks of March, Chuck Schumer, what he can do is he can coordinate with the Democrats and make sure that all the Democrats are on board with passing the third stimulus package. And this would mean that they're going to pass the third stimulus package as is with no changes or no modifications. However, keep in mind, this does mean he has to get unanimous consent. Okay, and this would include, since the bill is going to be passing as is, if it were to happen on this condensed timeline, that would mean this package would include the $15 minimum wage, which would gradually essentially increase the minimum wage for federal employers up until 2025, when everybody will have that $15 minimum wage. Now, if Schumer gets this from all Democrat senators, he can essentially agree with the Democrat senators verbally that he will vote on the package and get it done without any committee meetings in place. Now, this is the most condensed option that we have open. It's choice one. If this happens, the stimulus package could get passed as early as, hear me out on this, March 5th. But that's probably going to be the earliest that we're going to see it passed in the Senate. And then we need to see President Biden. He needs to go ahead and sign off on it, which he most likely will. But this is best case scenario if they do not call the committee, right? If we get unanimous consent within all Democrat senators, then we won't have to take further action. There won't have to be any modifications. That's best case scenario. We can expect it to pass somewhere in March 5th, meaning that the stimulus bill would go to President Biden for his sign off by, I would say, March 8th, the following week. So Congress would essentially pass this bill before March 15th, when the unemployment benefits will be ending. So keep in mind, however, like I said many times, this will require unanimous consent on part of the Democrat senators. If this case was to happen, I would say we can expect to get the stimulus checks distributed out to the American people probably like the last week of March. So end of March, most likely around March 29th or so. However, keep in mind, this is a very, very low chance of this actually happening because we have people like Democratic Senator Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin who disagree with the package in its current form and want to modify the package so that way it only focuses on direct relief, and they want to get rid of anything other than direct pandemic relief or illness relief. They want to get rid of that $15 minimum wage because they don't see that as specifically direct relief to the American people. Now, in the second choice, what can happen is that the bill, needs modification. So the bill will go to the committee, and the first 2 or 3 weeks of March essentially are gone. This is because the Republicans can slow this process down now by raising amendments, which they will have time to debate and vote on, which will even further slow down the stimulus passing. Then after there will be a new bill which will have new modifications, and that again will need to be passed and certified in the House. So we're going backwards a step essentially. The House, however, keep in mind, will be gone for vacation starting March 26th and going up until April 13th. So if we get this passed, the 26th will probably be the latest day. Otherwise, if we don't get it by the 26th, the House will be off until April 13th, and then things will really get pushed back. So we want, if there's any changes, any modifications, we want it to come to the House before the 26th, so that way they'll still be in session and they won't be on vacation. So hopefully they see that, they agree, and they pass it to the Senate, and then things move forward. But most likely we can hope for them, to get most of the work done in the committee and certified in the House anywhere from March 18th to March 26th, or 25th, I should say, the day before the House leaves for vacation. However, this will delay unemployment benefits, however, keep in mind, by 1 or 2 weeks, because we know that unemployment benefits will end by March 15th, meaning that if it comes anywhere from March 18th to 26th, there might be a week or two that people are not getting unemployment benefits. And as of now, we don't know if the missed weeks of unemployment benefits will be covered in the third stimulus check. So we'll have to, I'll have to keep you guys updated there. As long as the bill gets passed by March 25th, then the Senate will send it back, or it'll be sent back to the Senate once, the House passes all the modifications and certifies it. So that way it goes to the Senate, and most likely we'll see the stimulus checks out by April 15th. Probably earliest around that. So, either we can expect it in March or, probably mid-April. So we even might see, keep in mind, the $15 minimum wage disappear, either because of the parliamentarian or maybe because of the committee and the modifications that they put in place in order to move forward with the third round of stimulus. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed the video and learned something new. Thank you all so much for your continued support. I do appreciate it a lot. Make sure to go down below and drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Turn on those post notifications so that we are aware of when I do upload my next video. Comment down below. Till next time. Peace.